Bul Armory is picking up speed in the double stack 1911-2011 space. I picked up one of their TAC 425s early last year and I've been carrying it quite a bit since. In 2023, Bul Armory decided to one-up themselves by using these cool slide cuts at the top of their slide to introduce 8 ports in a V configuration, making a fire-breathing duty-grade 2011 for way less than what you'd expect to pay. Welcome back to the Humble Marksman channel. I'm David and this is the Bul Armory Tac Pro 425. Now this gun is on loan to me from my buddy Benjamin. He picked this up. It's going to be his new IDPA carry optics gun. These are brand new. There's not that many of them out right now. So this is very much going to be a first shots kind of video. And I'll just put it right there on the table because this gun is expensive. It's about $2,250 is what they're selling for on the website in the third quarter of 2023. However, that's a lot less than you'd expect to pay for it when you consider what other guns that are comparable cost. The Staccato XC is $4,300. The Terran Tactical Sand Viper is $7,000. The Nighthawk, I think it's called the Sandhawk, it is like a $6,000 gun. So while it is an expensive pistol, it's got porting, spits fire out the top. It's still a fraction of what it would be considered competitors. And before we make it too far, I would like to thank the video sponsors, the best looking people on the internet. That's right, my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. My ammunition sponsor for the video was Global Ordnance with their Bellom 124 grain projectiles. And Optics Planet. In no way could you save money using code HUMM on that website. So if you guys want to see this gun compared to the Staccato XC, I will release that video when this video gets 3,000 likes. So like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that video drop, and tell all your friends that you want to see the video. So since I did a much deeper dive on basically the same pistol when I got this a year ago without the porting, you can check that out for more information, but just to cover those bases for people who maybe didn't see the video. The Tac Pro is a 2011 style gun with duty in mind, so the fit is with that in mind. While still tightly fit, it's just a bit more play than the Bul Armory Air I reviewed recently. The trigger pulls at 2 3/4 pounds with a very crisp break and a very short reset and very tactile. The trigger is very easy to shoot. The trigger shoe is modular and you can swap it out for short or long or medium curved or flat inserts that they sell on their website that you can swap out without taking the gun apart. The grip is polymer and pretty darn aggressive, providing excellent traction. The trigger guard has a double undercut with excellent geometry, allowing your support hand to lock in on the gun. The slide serrations are super usable both fore and aft, and you've got co-witness black iron sights to line up with an RMR footprint optic. All the controls are super positive and well fit and finished. The slide and frame are both PVD coated. So that's a decent weapons finish, but it's easily marks up when in contact with other metals. It comes with 2 magazines that hold 19 rounds apiece, and it's capped off with a tactical style magwell that conceals kind of okay. It fits most 2011 holsters, though some it may not. Priority 1 holsters makes Bul Armory specific holsters that are pretty strong. The gun ships with a solid range bag and a bunch of stickers and a cleaning kit. All right, so that's the basics of the pistol, but let's talk about the star of the show, these ports that are in the pistol right there. Do they help mitigate recoil? Yes, absolutely. I would estimate that the dot jumps about 30% or so less. It just feels like it recovers quicker despite similar springing to what's in the regular TAC pistol. Is the gun louder? Yes, it is louder. You won't notice it so much outside, but when I shot it at an indoor range, it absolutely was observable when I had those big bulletproof separators next to me. When running the gun fast, what does it feel like? Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's a lot of fun to shoot fast. One thing I will say when learning to shoot this gun quickly is that if you're used to shooting non-compensated guns, it's easy to want to over muscle the gun, which causes it to return low. Similarly, the Bul Pro was coming back much lower as well. I'm just not used to it. I'm overcorrecting with my grip, so I'm not used to how that gun's returning. There's almost no muzzle climb, so I'm pushing the gun down. And that was an issue I got into when I was first getting into shooting the gun. Once I figured out what the gun needed, I was able to return it to where it was shooting from, and shooting fast became an absolute joy.
Okay, I figured out how to hold that gun now. Those were all alphas. That was good.
The gun does shoot like a much bigger gun as far as how stable it is, but it is lightweight, so it absolutely can fly out of holsters and it swings from target to target very easily. How much velocity do the ports cause you to lose? Well, I'm really glad you asked that question because I tested it with 147, 124 grain NATO and 115 grain, and the velocity loss to my regular 425 was only about 2.5 to 3.5%. Didn't seem to matter so much the brand or the loading, but I could say that it lost about that much velocity. From a sporting perspective, it absolutely makes power factor with all of the ammo that I tried. Even the 115s that I shot were coming out of the barrel at 1100 foot per second.
1100. The 115s barely move. Like, that's absolutely outstanding. That's really, really nice. Let's try the Staccato next.
How does the gun shoot compared to the Staccato XE? Haha, you almost got me, you silly billies. Gotta like the video in order for that video to come out. Well, what are the cons of this gun? Well, first and foremost is these are gonna be pretty universal with all the Bul Armory guns. They're not available in stores, so you can't really go out and like check it out and like make sure that the gun fits your hand and all that kind of stuff. You kind of have to go on faith based on videos on the internet that you want to spend a couple $1,000s. That said, I've not met anybody who didn't really like their Bul Armory guns. I'm sure they're out there. If that's you, leave a comment. If you've bought Bul Armory guns previously, be sure and share your experience in the comments below as well. Next is the magazines are not 2011 magazines. Bul Armory uses their own pattern of magazines similar to what the Perez had back in the day. But the good news is that they're available directly through Bul for a very reasonable price, like 50, 60 bucks, depending on the configuration you get, which for a 2011 style gun is a really good deal on magazines. The muzzle flash, or the flames that come out of the ports on the sides, is very visible in low light situations. When I first shot the gun, it was at an indoor range. It absolutely breathed fire, and I was surprised just how much the flames were coming out of the gun. In daylight, you don't notice the thing, but I mean, it is a loud gun. Shooting it at the indoor range, it was a loud gun. It even blew the battery door off my chronograph when I was chronoing ammunition because of the pressure coming out of the ports. Another negative is that it only accepts RMR footprint optics at this point. That may change in the future since they use a plate system to mount these optics, but at the moment, they're only RMR sized optics. And finally is availability. These guns have only had one batch released to the United States so far, and they sold out within 2 hours. Bul Armory has been dropping guns to be more accessible. However, the appetite for them seems to be increasing. So you have to keep your eye on the website and you have to commit if that's something that you're into, because you can only get the things through their website. So ultimately, the fit and finish on this gun is very, very good. The full length guide rod, the barrel, the ports, everything about it is really cool. This is just a really, really cool gun. Even if you don't want to compete with it in IDPA, it's absolutely one that will make you giggle when you take it to the range. So final thoughts, the gun is a lot easier to shoot than my TAC 425 that doesn't have ports. In fact, it was noticeably more fatiguing to try and hold the 425 down versus this 425 Pro.
The Pro, it's already a lot softer shooting with that 147, like almost no movement.
The ports absolutely make a difference, and I find myself wondering how ridiculous the 5-inch version of this gun must be. I bet it's absolutely insane. Those haven't been released in the US yet, but they are on the website and they have been announced. This is a really amusing general purpose gun if you don't want to compete with it. I mean, for concealed carry or home defense, as I said, the muzzle flash could potentially be an issue in low light environments, but generally speaking, the gun is only 30 ounces and it performs like a much heavier gun. It is very, very shootable and very tame to shoot. I mean, this would be an absolute joy to introduce a new shooter to, provided you're not at an indoor range where the flash and the extra noise may bother them. Bul Armory really did a good job with this gun. I think it's awesome that they've got these V8 ports coming on the gun and trying new things in the 2011 space at a price that is reachable. It's not low necessarily, but it's not absurd. Like $4,300 for the compensated Staccato is a price tag that most people will never be able to stomach. $2,200 is approximately half that. So if you want to see the video comparing this to the XC, be sure to hit that like button. As always, I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.